Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about the 4 mistakes guys make when your woman goes quiet, okay? So there's 2 categories here really, okay? And that is women, if this is a woman that you're just dating, or if this is a long-term girlfriend or your wife, okay? So there's 2 different categories here and they're both different. In fact, they're the opposite of each other, okay? In terms of what you should do if your woman goes quiet on you, okay? So let's first just get into when it's a woman that you're just dating. So a woman who is not yet your girlfriend, a woman who's not yet your wife, and suddenly she goes all quiet on you and it seems like she's losing interest, okay? So this is the biggest mistakes that you can do, right? And there's 2 mistakes in this, okay, that you should not do, okay? So the first mistake is, right, you don't give her the space. Because if she's gone quiet, and she's not talking to you, okay, the worst thing you can do is to bombard her with messages, call her up, ask her what's wrong, ask her what's going on, why isn't she replying to you, what's up, okay? That's the worst thing you can do. Because if you've already sent her a message and she hasn't responded to that message, then you got to wait. You have to wait for her to respond. You have to wait for her to send that message back. Don't double message. If you sent a hey, how are you, and you got no response, then don't send another hey, how are you, or what's going on, or why haven't you replied. Don't send anything, okay? She's got the message. It's in her inbox. If you're important to her, she will get back to you, okay? So give her the space and time to get back to you. So that's the first biggest mistake that I see guys do, okay, when a woman goes quiet. He doesn't give her space, and then it's just too much for her, basically, and she loses even more attraction, and you just push her completely out of your life when there could have been a chance of salvaging it, okay? So another big mistake that I see guys doing is when they do get messaging her and like asking her what's wrong and all this kind of thing, what they're doing is they're making a big deal out of it. They're making a big deal over the fact that she's gone quiet, okay? It's a woman that you're just dating that is not your girlfriend yet, and you're making it into a big deal that she's gone quiet even though she's not yet your girlfriend, okay? You're acting too much like of a boyfriend instead of a guy that she's just dating, okay? Because if you're making a big deal about it, you're acting more like a boyfriend, okay, and a husband, not a guy that she's simply just dating. So you're just doing too much if you're making it into a big deal and you're getting really upset about it and you're getting really upset at her about it and you're messaging her a lot. And like I said, you're just not, and like the first point, you're not giving her the space. But especially if you're not giving her the space and you're making a big deal over the fact that she's not messaging you back, or she's gone quiet, or she's not replying as much as she used to. If you make a big deal about it, then you're going to just push her out of your life completely. When it could have been salvaged if you had just given her the space, if you had just let it go, okay? So those are the 2 big mistakes I see when it's with a woman that you're just dating and she goes quiet, okay? So the next part of the equation then is if this is your wife or girlfriend that's gone quiet, okay? Or so for example, let's say you're at home with her and suddenly maybe something happens and she goes quiet and you're like, okay, something's up. something's happened here. So what you do with a girlfriend or a wife is the exact opposite of what I just said, okay, pretty much. Which is, when your girlfriend or wife gets upset, the worst thing you can do is to leave her alone. Okay, if she goes quiet and you can tell something's up, the worst thing you could do is leave her alone. Why? Because the reason she's gone quiet is usually because she's testing you to see how much you care. So she's upset about something, she's gone quiet, okay? What she's wanting from you is for you to push the issue. She wants you to push the issue. Even if she says, no, I'm fine, I don't want to talk about it. Wrong. She wants you to open her up. She wants you to talk to her. She is testing you. It does matter to her. She does want to talk about it. Okay? She does. She is testing you. Okay? So what you need to do is you need to say, well, I'm not going anywhere. Tell me what's wrong. Tell me what's up. And she'll be like, I don't want to talk about it. Well, I'm not going anywhere. And then maybe you'll do something silly, like you start tickling her, start poking her. Maybe you do a little funny dance. like wiggle your bum in her face or something like that. I don't know, right? And just do something silly to just get her to like get out of that state that she's in, so she can start talking to you. She wants to see how much you care, because if you cared, then you would keep on digging and digging until you found out what was wrong. And eventually she will yield and she will tell you, but it may just take a bit of time to get her to open up. Okay, so just do whatever you can basically to get her out of that pattern, get her to laugh, get her to giggle if you can, right? And then just like, okay, so what's going on? Tell me, please communicate with me. Let's just be adults about this and just talk about it. What's going on? Just tell me. If I've done something to upset you, then I want to know about it. Tell me. Right, that's all you have to do, okay? So the next mistake then that I see guys doing who are in a relationship or they're married is they try to fix the issue. Okay, so for example, let's say she comes home from work and she says, oh, I had a massive argument with Sally, and then you just go ahead and say, well, you know what, you shouldn't talk to her as much anymore. What she's actually wanting from you most of the time, sometimes she wants a solution, sometimes she just wants you to help her fix things, but mostly she just wants to vent. She just wants you to vent to her, okay? So, for example, I talked about this relatively recently, but I was in the car with my wife, and my wife was driving, and she was eating a flapjack, okay? And she had to brake on the car because basically this other car had come in the way, and basically it was her right of way, but the car decided that he was going to go or she was going to go, and so my wife had to brake quite harshly in order to let that happen, and then she dropped her flapjack, okay, and it fell, and she was like, they made me drop my flapjack, and I was like, oh, and I just said to her, I didn't even think, I just said to her, oh, okay, well, let's just pull over so you can get your flapjack, and she was like, it's I hate to say this, but it's just, I know, and I hate to be stereotypical, but sometimes I just want to vent. I don't, that's what she said to me, and I because I've teach this stuff, because I coach this stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot, right? I was like, I couldn't believe that I forgot that. This is just something that women like to do. They don't want a solution. They just want you to be like, oh yeah, what a dick, I can't believe he made you drop the flapjack, or can't believe she made you drop, I can't remember who wasn't driving the car. To be honest, I didn't look through the window. It could have been a man or a woman, it didn't matter. But that's beyond the issue. The issue is that I should have known that I should have just been like, oh, I can't believe that happened. They just want to vent. They just want a soundboard, right? So don't always offer a solution when she's mad, because sometimes she just wants to have a moan. That's what it is, right? Women just sometimes just want to have a whinge, a moan, and just to vent, and have you to be their soundboard where you can be like, oh yeah, you know what, that was really annoying. God, what twat. That's what they want most of the time, right? And if they want a solution, or you're not sure if they want a solution, then just ask. Yeah, if you're unsure, just be like, well, do you want my opinion about this? Do you want to help me? Let me help you fix it, or do you just want like to vent and just have a chin wag about it, right? And then she'll let you know. She'll be like, you know what? Yeah, I just kind of just want to have a vent, really. Like, okay, let's go let's go to town, let's vent, right? And just have that sort of attitude, But that's one of the biggest mistakes that I see guys do. They just go and offer that solution. Now, luckily, I've got a good communication with my wife, and she was adult enough to just say to me, you know what, I don't really want a solution here. I just want to vent about it and to just talk about it. I just want to, I just want a soundboard, basically, of how I'm feeling. So it's one of those things that you have to sort of keep in mind, especially when you are in a relationship. But the thing is that when you're just dating a woman and she starts to go quiet on you, you have to give her the space. You have to do the opposite, okay? You have to do the opposite of what you would do with a girlfriend or a wife, because she's not quite there yet. But of course, though, it could be that you're out on a date with a woman and suddenly she goes quiet on you, okay? Which is then when you may... So it's only like if she's messaging you and she's gone quiet on the messaging, that you should give her space and not make it into a big deal, okay? But if you are out on a date with a woman and she suddenly goes quiet, you can try to bring a bit of humor into it and try to get her to open up and talk about what's going on. But again, you still don't want to make it into a big issue because you don't know each other very well, okay? So you kind of just want to ask and inquire and be polite about it. But it's, again, like, it may be the case that you just want to end the date there. If she goes quiet and it's very difficult to get her to be fun and happy again, be like, you know what, I think it's just better if maybe we just, end the date here, because I'm not really having fun anymore and you're not talking to me as much, so I'm not getting to know you, so the date just feels kind of useless right now, and just leave. Right? Because again, it's a woman that you're just dating, and if she goes quiet like that on you on a date and you're not even boyfriend and girlfriend yet, then it's showing red flag signs that this relationship is going to be difficult if you two do end up in a relationship and go down the road with each other, further down the road with each other. Okay, so it might be a good idea to walk away from a woman who is displaying that kind of behavior straight away. Okay, with a woman who goes quiet in a relationship, usually there's a lot of things that have been piling up that may have got her to that state. So it's not a good idea just to walk away from a relationship or a marriage just because she's gone quiet, because you don't really there's a lot of factors that could be involved. Okay, whereas if you're just dating a woman and she goes quiet on you and she gets mad at you, there's not enough energy there's not enough experiences that you've had together to cause that build up, if you understand what I mean, right? So it may be best to just leave those women who go quiet on you when you're physically on a date with them, okay? But when you're just dating a woman and she goes quiet on Messenger and things like that, then you just got to give her the space and not make it into a big deal. But with your girlfriend or your wife, you kind of do have to make a big deal about it, okay? It doesn't mean you need to get serious or angry. That's not what I mean about it. But what I mean is that you can't just let her, if she says I'm fine, you can't just be like, okay, you're fine, and then walk away from her. Sometimes that is a test. Actually, always it's a test. She's testing to see how much you care about her, how much you want to get to the root of the issue. Because if you're just like, okay, she'll just sense that that'll just make her more sad. It'll close her up even more to you, and you'll probably start to notice that she's not wanting to be intimate as much anymore, because she just knows that you just shut her down, right? You don't want to break through her barriers. You're not trying to put in the effort to find out what's wrong. Now, yeah, it would be nice if women were just up open and honest to begin with and be like, well, I'm upset because you did this. But women do sort of like want to know if you care or not. Okay, so one of the ways that they can test to see if you still care and if you still love her is by just being like, no, it's fine. And then she's like looking over like, please do more, please try and talk to me more. It's one of those things where she's just testing to see if you care. That's why they don't always offer what's wrong, because they want to know that you care, right? They want to see how much you care. And if you are willing to never leave and you just want to get to the root of the issue and you're trying really to fish the information out of her, she will yield and she will tell you what's going on. And also she'll feel more love for you because she knows how much you care, because you're really trying. Okay, you're really trying to get to the issue. So those are the 4 mistakes that guys make when a woman goes quiet. And we went into dating and also when you're in a relationship as well, and when you're married too. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. And if you would like more tips, there's also a dating book on there that you can go and read for free called Attracting the Beautiful Woman of Your Dreams. So all you need to do is just go to the menu on the website and then click on the book. It'll take you straight to the book and you can learn how to attract the beautiful woman of your dreams. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.